locus of a complex number involving argument, or today we will see the locus of complex number having argument based on argument. So any complex number has two parts. We know that if we have any complex number z, there's two part that is called modulus of z, that is modulus, and other that is called argument. So I have already discussed the locus of complex number based on the modulus. Now today we will see the locus of complex number based on the argument. First let's see argument of z minus z naught is equal to alpha. Here alpha is a fixed value angle, z naught is also fixed, and z is variable, and that is basically the locus. So z minus z naught is called alpha. They represent a ray emanating from z naught and moving along angle alpha. Okay, and this angle alpha is with respect to the positive direction of x-axis, or in complex number we say the real axis, in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so that means suppose this is any complex plane or argand plane, and let's say z naught is here. This is a ray, this is the locus of z, and the angle should be with respect to positive direction of x-axis along anti-clockwise direction. That is the locus of z. So one more important thing. First of all, if we have an argument of z minus z naught is equal to alpha, there are two things. First of all, the ray emanating from z naught, alpha is the angle with respect to positive direction of x-axis, and a third important point is that the ray should not include z naught. Okay, so as I have drawn here, the ray is originating from z naught, but the z naught, the point z naught is not in the locus. Okay, because argument of, because the thing is, if we say z is equal to z naught, okay, then what is the argument z minus z naught? 0, and argument of 0 is not defined. That's why it is a ray originating from z naught, but z naught is not included. Okay, let's take few of the examples. Let's say argument of z is equal to pi by 6. Obviously here z naught is equal to 0 and alpha is equal to pi by 6. So it represent a z naught is here. So it represent a ray originating from z naught but not including z naught. That is originating from origin but not including origin, and this angle is pi by 6. So this is basically a equation is a ray. Okay, let's take few more example. Argument of z minus 1 is equal to, let's say, 5 pi by 6. So z naught here is 1. So this is real axis and this is imaginary axis, and somewhere is equal to 1. So it's ray originating from 1 but not including 1. So the z is equal to 1 is not included, and it is moving along direction of 5 pi by 6. So it is something like this. This is the ray and this angle is 5 pi by 6. Okay, so this is a ray originating from 1 at angle 5 pi by 6. Let's take one more example for more practice. Argument of z plus 2 minus I is equal to minus pi by 4. Okay, obviously here we can write like this: argument of z of minus 2 plus I is equal to minus pi by 4. So clearly the z naught is minus 2 plus I, that is the point from which the ray is emanating. Now we can say this is the real part of x axis, this is imaginary part, imaginary axis, and where is the point? The point minus 2 comma 1. So minus 2 means, let's say this is 1 minus 1, this is minus 2, and this is, let's say, 1. So this is I. So this point is, so this is I. So this point is minus 2 plus I. Now the ray will be emanating from minus 2 plus I, and angle is minus pi by 4. Okay, so minus pi by 4 means a negative direction. So we know that if this angle is pi by 4 along the anti-clockwise direction, so if you go the clockwise direction, that becomes minus 5 by 4. So that means this is the ray originating from minus 2 plus I, and this angle. Now how do this angle? So this angle with respect to positive direction, this is minus pi by 4. So this is the ray. Okay. Okay, just quickly some of the questions. If argument of z is equal to 0, okay, so see, this is defined. Mind it, argument of 0 is not defined. Okay, but here argument of z is equal to 0 is defined, so it clearly shows that z naught is equal to 0. So it means that z is equal to 0 and alpha is equal to 0. So z naught is equal to 0 means the ray will emanating from origin and angle alpha 0. So that means it's moved like this along the positive direction of x axis. Okay, let's take one more example for clear practice. If I say argument of z minus pi is equal to pi, so clearly z naught is equal to pi, z naught is equal to pi, so it will somewhere, this is 1 2 3, this is 3.14, this is a pi. So the ray will emanate from this pi, and along the, and what is the angle? Angle is also pi, so that means it is this direction. Okay, so we know that this angle is 0 and this angle is pi. So this is the ray emanating from pi and going along the pi direction. Pi direction means angle 180 with respect to the positive direction of a x axis. Okay, then the second part, which is very much useful, sometimes this is argument of z minus z naught mod is equal to alpha. Okay, in this case they are just remove the mod, so we get z minus z naught is equal to plus alpha, and argument of z minus z naught is equal to minus alpha. Okay, so basically they represent two rays emanating from, so they represent two rays emanating from z naught, one moving along or going along alpha direction and other moving along minus alpha direction. Plus alpha means anti-clockwise direction, minus alpha means clockwise direction with respect to the x axis. Okay, so clearly somewhere is, let's say, z naught, so one is going along this direction and other is going along this direction. The angle is, this is alpha and this is minus alpha. So basically they represent two rays emanating from z naught. Okay, let's take a quick example. Argument of z plus I modulus is equal to pi by 3. So they clearly represent two rays. One is argument of z plus I is equal to pi by 3, and other is argument of z plus I is equal to minus pi by 3. So what is z naught here? Z naught is minus I, because we write like this. No? The way we write is argument of z minus z naught. That means argument of z minus minus of I. That clearly means z naught is equal to minus I. So how do we represent this on the Argand diagram? So minus I will be somewhere here, minus I. This is the ray. One is angle pi by 3, other is minus pi by 3. So pi by 3 means it will go like this, and other is minus pi by 3 like this. So their angle with respect to positive direction of x-axis is, this is pi by 3 and this is minus pi by 3. So they represent these two rays emanating from minus pi, one angle pi by 3 with respect to the positive direction of x-axis, and there is minus pi by 3 with respect to the positive direction of x-axis. Example, argument of 2z minus I is equal to pi by 3. So whenever we have argument, we want to for locus, our coefficient of z should be 1. Here the coefficient of 2. So we'll take 2 outside. So how will take 2z minus I by 2 is equal to pi by 3. Now we can write it like this: argument of 2 plus argument of z minus I by 2 is equal to pi by 3. Okay. Why I have written? Because argument hold the property similar to logarithm. That is, argument of z1 into z2 is equal to argument of z1 plus argument of z2. That is similar to the logarithm property. Logarithm property. Okay. What is argument of 2? Argument of 2 is some real number, constant. So argument of 2 is a 0. Okay. Any constant real number has an argument 0. That means 2 will lie somewhere here. So its argument is 0. So that turn out to be a argument of z minus I by 2 is equal to pi by 3. That clearly means it represents a ray originating from I by 2, okay, and at angle pi by 3. So this is the angle pi by 3. I emphasize again, the z is equal to I by 2 will not be included in the locus. Okay, that's why I have make it a whole. One more example. Let's say argument of iz minus 2I is equal to pi by 4. Now again, similar to it here, we can write like this: argument of, we take I outside, so z minus 2 is equal to pi by 4. And argument hold a property similar to logarithm, so we can say argument I plus argument of z minus 2 is equal to pi by 4. And what is the argument of I? I will lie somewhere here, so argument of I will be pi by 2. So we can write it's a pi by 2 plus argument of z minus 2 is equal to pi by 4. That means argument of z minus 2 is equal to pi by 4 minus pi by 2 is equal to minus pi by 4. So that means it clearly a ray originating from 2 and angle is minus pi by 4. So this is the, this angle is minus pi by 4. Okay. Let's take the third case, very important, that is argument of z minus z1 upon z minus z2 is equal to alpha. Okay. Here again the alpha is fixed angle, z1 and z2 is also fixed, and z is a variable that determine the locus, that is varying, and that will have a locus. Here we'll see when alpha is equal to 0, they represent a ray, and alpha is equal to pi, they represent the line segment, and alpha is something not equal to 0 and pi, they represent the arc of a circle. Mind it, they will not represent the circle, they have just an arc of circle, not circle. Circle means not a complete circle. Okay, we can say it's a circle because they are part of circle, but they don't represent the complete circle. They just represent a part of a circle. Okay, let's see one by one. So case 1, let's see if alpha is 0. So if alpha is 0, that means argument of z minus z1 upon z minus z2 0, or argument of z minus z1 minus z minus z2 is equal to 0. They represent a, suppose this is z1 and z2, they represent a ray originating from z2 and z1, but not including z1 and z2. So they represent a ray emanating from z1 and z2 and moving in opposite direction. Opposite direction of z1 and z2, and look and locus, important locus, does not include z1 and z2. z1 and z2 is not included. So just 0, alpha 0, they just represent a ray originating from z1 and z2 in opposite direction. Let's say what happen if alpha is equal to pi. Alpha is equal to pi means argument of z minus z1 upon z minus z2 is equal to pi. In this case, the locus, suppose this is z1 is point, z2 points, locus is a line segment between z1 and z2 and not including z1. So in this case, they represent a line segment between z1 and z2 excluding z1 and z2. z1 z2 not included. Okay. Okay. Let's take one more question. Just take one question. It's easy. Example, let's say argument of z plus I upon z minus I is equal to pi. So this is I, this is minus I. The line segment, the particular equation argument of z plus I upon z minus I is equal to pi represent a line segment between minus I and plus I, but not including minus I and plus I. So this is the locus of z. Okay. Next is, one more thing we can see, if alpha is pi by 2, then they represent a semicircle. Okay. That means argument of z minus z1, z minus z2 is equal to pi by 2. They represent a semicircle. So this is, let's say z1, this is z2. This is one semicircle. The other semicircle, there are two semicircles are possible. So one of the semicircle is the actual semicircle. Obviously, z minus z1, z minus, there are two semicircles are possible, but one of them is a locus, other is not. So how do we know which of the semicircle is the locus? So for that, just have a draw a somewhere point, let's say z. This is a ray z minus z1, and this is a ray. So this is a ray z minus z1, and this is a ray z minus z2. Okay. Whereas other case, if I draw this one, so this is a ray z minus z1, and this is a ray z minus z2. So how do we know which of the semicircle represent the argument of z minus z1 upon z minus z2 is called pi by 2? That is decided by semicircle having ray z minus z1 ahead of ray z minus z2 is the required locus of semicircle. Okay, so if you clearly see here, in this case z minus z1, so obviously if we want to move the pi by 2 positive, so start from this, and this is, so in this case we observe that z minus z1 is behind the z minus z2. Okay, behind means its angle should be pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Okay, so this is behind, this is not the case. Whereas if we talk about this semicircle, here z minus z1 is ahead of z minus z2. So if we draw an angle pi by 2, okay, so ahead means angle pi by 2 should be anti-clockwise starting from z minus z2 and end at ray z minus z1. So here we observe that if we start from z minus z1, so angle is pi by 2, but the starting is not z minus z1, whereas in this case angle is pi by 2 is anti-clockwise and starting is z minus z2 and ending is z minus z1. That's why this is the required locus. Okay. Okay, and how do we decide center? So in case of the center is given by, in a semicircle, suppose this is semicircle z1 z2, this is the required semicircle, and the center is z1 plus z2 by 2, and the radius will be z1 minus z2 by 2 mod. This is the radius and that is the center. Okay, so we should know that argument of z minus z1 upon z minus z2 is equal to pi by 2 represent a semicircle, but there one of the semicircle is possible. How do we determine which semicircle is possible? So make two semicircle and then try to draw a ray. So one of the ray in which angle pi by 2 is anti-clockwise starting from the ray z minus z2 and ending ray z minus z1, that is the required side of a semicircle. Okay, let's say alpha is not equal to 0, pi and pi by 2. So alpha 0 represent a ray, alpha pi by 2 pi represent a line segment, and pi by 2 represent a circle. In this case they are the arc of a circle, they represent arc of circle. If alpha is greater than pi by 2, then they represent the minor arc, and if alpha is less than pi by 2, then they represent the major arc of a circle. Okay, that means you can clearly see here. So suppose this is z1, this is z2, this is alpha. Clearly alpha in this side is the, this is the major arc, and clearly alpha is less than pi by 2, whereas in this side this is the minor arc, and if we take any angle, let's say this is beta, here clearly beta is greater than pi by 2 and they represent the minor arc of a circle. So minor arc side we get angle which is greater than pi by 2, and on the major arc side we get the angle less than pi by 2. Okay, in this case radius is confirmed. So what is the radius of a circle of which the arc is a part? So this is z1, this is z2, somewhere is the center, and this is the radius, and we know that these angle alpha, this is the z lies on the arc, z is the arc of a circle, and alpha is the angle made between the z1, z is the angle made between z1 and z2, and the radius, suppose this is the radius, so obviously this angle is alpha. So radius is given by, in this case radius is given by z1 minus z2 by 2. So basically this distance is z1 minus z2 by 2 mod sine alpha. Take for example, argument of z minus pi, argument of z minus 3i upon z minus 2 is equal to, let's say, pi by 4. Okay, so they represent the arc. So let's say this is 2 is somewhere here, 3i is somewhere here. So they represent the arc. Okay, now obviously they represent the major arc. So there are two possibilities, either it is this arc or it is this arc. How do we decide which arc is possible? Okay, again same logic as we did in the semicircle case. We draw a ray. So z is a, so z basically z lies, so basically this is the locus of z and this is the locus of z. One of the correct locus of z. So we make a ray. So this ray is z minus 2 and this ray is z minus 3i. So we should make angle pi. So we should make angle pi by 4 starting from z minus 2 and ending to z minus 3i. So starting through z minus 2 ending through z minus 3i, this is pi by 4, but this is the clockwise, so this is wrong. But same way, if I look at somewhere z here, okay, so this is the z minus 3i and this is z minus 2. Now we make angle starting from z minus 2 ending to z minus 3i. So if you make angle starting from this angle pi by 4, and clearly this is anti-clockwise. So this is the correct side of a arc. Okay, so this is the required locus. This is the correct locus of z. Argument of 2z minus 3 upon z plus 2 is equal to 2 pi by 3. Okay, again if we want to find any locus, make sure that the coefficient of z should be 1. So what I do, I take the argument of 2 as a common, so z minus 3 by 2 upon z plus 2 is equal to 2 pi by 3, and we can write like argument of 2 plus argument of z minus 3 by 2 upon z plus 2 is equal to 2 pi by 3. Clearly argument of 2 is a constant positive, so it's 0. So we need to find the argument of z minus 3 by 2 upon z plus 2 is equal to 2 pi by 3. Okay, that means locus is a arc, and what are the points? Somewhere minus 2 is here and 3 by 2 here. So locus is a 2 pi by 3 angle pi by, so it will be a something a minor arc. So there are two, either it will be this arc or this arc, which we don't know which arc. So how do we decide? So that means we'll take point and then draw a ray. Achha, by the way, one more thing. So here this point is not in, this point is excluded. Okay, so locus is a semicircle excluding 3i and 2. Same way here we'll see, but let's see this z minus 2. So our locus should be starting from z plus 2 and ending to z minus 3 by 2. So this is z plus 2 and this is z minus 3 by 2. So starting from z plus 2 and ending to z plus 3, this, yeah, z plus 2 ending to z minus 3 by 2, and that is 2 pi by 3, and that is anti-clockwise. So this is the correct locus. So that is, this is the required locus, and obviously these points are excluded. Okay.